I thought as we had Steve's birthday, I might say a few things about Steve. It's not going to be "this is your life" or anything, because as my mum keeps telling us, 40 is still very young. And I think we can all agree that Steve doesn't even look a day over 39 anyway. I first met Steve when he was 24, and I cringe now when I think of how I used to joke he was getting old as he approached his 25th birthday. At that time, he was living his best life on a gap year in New Zealand. Except he was kind of the world's worst backpacker. He spent most of the week faffing about with aeroplanes, but not actually going anywhere. Gaming, watching sci-fi, eating takeaway junk food.
Nothing changes.
So, at 40, I would like to say he's matured and grown as a person. But he still spends most of the week faffing about with aeroplanes, gaming, watching sci-fi, and eating junk food. In his defence, however, he does now own far more Xbox controllers. And recently treated himself to a deep fat fry to cook his own junk food. So that's progress. I did want to talk through really great things about Steve. I don't know anyone who doesn't like him. Absolutely everybody thinks he's just a really good egg. Given the size of his head, like a dinosaur egg. But I've narrowed some of the great things about him into like 3 categories of Steve. And Holly's going to help me out with this. And when I said that I might show some pictures, like a slideshow, I might need his help to get a projector and do this, he said, nah, that's a bit outdated. So instead, we're going to use some of his favourite things as props. So, the first category of Steve that I wanted to talk about is, hello Sweetie, your friendly neighbourhood geek, Steve. And to demonstrate this, we've got, right, this is one of his favourite Xbox controllers. This is a very pretty one, but he owns 34 of these. Friendly neighbourhood geek Steve is always eager to help people out, particularly if it involves showing off his skills in gaming, technology, Wi-Fi speeds, TV cable management. And if you think back to 23rd of March 2020, and the rest of us had our minds filled with homeschooling, getting toilet roll, not getting COVID, Steve thought this was the perfect time to make use of the emergency supplies that he kept in the garage. And I don't mean toilet roll, I mean the emergency supplies of Xboxes. So while other people delivered food shopping to isolating friends and family, Steve delivered spare Xboxes to a group of Whitney dads in need. He very quickly had a group gaming night set up, and 2 years later that still happens every Tuesday evening. I'm often sat opposite him on my phone while he plays, and he thinks that I'm just scrolling Instagram, buying new shoes I don't need, catching up on Taylor Swift's latest power moves, and all of that is completely true. But I've also been observing and writing this. I've come to the conclusion that no matter how hard I try, I can't understand the appeal of Xbox Live. They take an hour to decide what to play. They spend the next hour winding each other up, and they end it by shouting, "See you next Tuesday." Apparently, they've all had a great time. But this has become the highlight of this week, and it makes him very happy. So thank you, those of you who know really well. The second category of Steve I want to talk about is I'm going to call High Flying Businessman Steve. We're going to illustrate this. Oh, well done. We're going to illustrate this with. I better be careful with this. This is. My phone's locked, so I've lost my notes. Elite Series 2 controller. Every businessman needs their elite, expensive toys. Yeah, no, it's not fine. I'll put that out. As I should just explain to Chris tonight, you might know we originally came to Whitney because Steve had spent 6 years commuting here to work while we lived in southwest London. But just 6 months after we bought a house here, he was told his job was to be relocated somewhere southwest of London, which was rather inconvenient. So he decided to start his own business here instead. A business that he absolutely assured me would make him a millionaire by the time he was 40. So, Beth, what time of day was Steve born?
10 to 6 for guys.
So he's 40 now, yeah? So, where are we on that? Shall we adjust the spreadsheet until when you're 50? The high-flying businessman path has not been as smooth as Steve would have liked. At times it's been incredibly difficult. Special shout out to COVID for grounding all the planes. But it's meant he's been able to be around lots of the girls as well as spending a bit of time in New York, which he's loved. Most of all, he's built an innovative business completely from scratch, which is a real big achievement. But if anyone does happen to know Branson or Bezos or Elon Musk, please let them know Steve is ready to pivot to Hello Space Crew as soon as they send their millions his way. Speaking of Hello Air Crew, Steve's business partner Kieran couldn't be here tonight because he's gone skiing, which makes me think, has Kieran got all the millions? He did send a message to say, Steve, you are a true and valued friend and business partner, however not quite valued enough for me to miss my skiing holiday. Plus, I didn't want to get in the way of you painting the new office, which I don't think you've done, have you? No, you haven't. Actually, the truth of why I couldn't come to your party is that because you've been like a surrogate son to me over many years, I was concerned you'd just pass me the bill at the end of the night. P.S. Your present's in the post. I have got a couple of other messages flown in from sisters in faraway places. From Australia, Stephen James said, "Happy birthday, bro. Have a great night. You're never too old for a beige buffet."
So true, Steve.
So she didn't even know we were having a beige buffet. She was spot on. And from sunny Skegness, Jeanette and Dan sent a speech longer than mine, so you can read that later. But the gist of it was, happy birthday, Smeghead. The third and final category of Steve we need to mention is devoted daddy Steve. And for that, do you want to come up? I've just got one here, but this is the Xbox controllers he's arranged for the girls to have. Steve has spent his 30s navigating many new worlds. Places like the Kingdom of Arendelle and Lego Friends Heart Lake City are quite far removed from his comfort zones of the Marvel trilogies and the Star Wars cinematic universe. When I asked the girls if there was anything they wanted to say about Daddy, they said, "Can we tell everyone we called him Super Stinky Steve?" She's not quite what I was looking for, but they really do adore him as much as he adores them. And yeah, he's kicked off his 40s by organising them their very own Xbox controllers, so he can try and include them in his worlds as well.
Yep.
Is there any cake coming?
Is there any cake?
Is there a cake? It's alright. Don't eat it for a minute.
Yeah, a bit married again. Wedding cake, that is.
Well, wedding cake.
Level up. At least it doesn't say game over.
When we talked to the girls about having this party, Holly and Amber requested the 3 essentials for a good party: presents, cake, and a bouncy castle. I sadly couldn't find anyone to hire me a bouncy castle for 70 adults at night time. But presents and cake we can definitely do. So that brings me on to my final prop. This is a very vintage Club 1830s beach house. Steve's been using this Club 1830s beach towel now for 20 years. As a reminder of his youth in Faliraki. Aside from his Xbox controllers, it's genuinely one of his most prized possessions. Despite my best efforts, he's refused to give it up. He took it on our honeymoon. He took it on all of our family holidays. I think at 40, the time has come to retire the Club 1830. So I don't know if he's got any scissors. But girls and I thought that as you go into your 40s, you might want something a bit more classy and mature for your beach towel. So there you go, there's your present.
Yes! Excellent!
That's your 40th present. I wanted to echo what Steve said earlier. Thank you everyone for coming. I think we've all got a new sense of how important and how lucky we are to be able to have a party at all. Thank you, Bev, for giving us Steve, but mainly for looking after the girls tonight so that I can help him crawl to the nearest hotel. Where he'll probably sleep in the bathroom and head down the toilet, which has definitely happened before. I asked Steve if he wanted us all to sing happy birthday to him while we ambushed him with cake, but he said again, nah, that's a bit outdated. And also we messed up the candle situation, so we don't have candles, but we do have a great cake. So we're going to take a slightly different approach. If you've got a glass, where's your glass? Toast to Steve, happy birthday Steve. Cue the music.
Woo!
Don't show it.